Black April Remembered, the emotional accounts from Delmarva Vietnam veterans on the fall of Saigon 50 years later. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our news at 6. We begin tonight focused on the past. It's been 50 years since the Vietnam War.
50 years ago today, the city of Saigon fell to the communist North Vietnam. 10 years earlier, in 1965, direct military involvement began in the Cold War in the effort to keep South Vietnam free. As Coast TV's Matt Pensick shows us, the images of April 30th, 1975 and the war experience still evoke a lot of emotion from Vietnam veterans right here on Delmarva.
April 30th, 1975, it is known as Black April. The day tanks from North Vietnam broke through the barricade of the South Vietnam Presidential Palace, symbolizing the finality of over 20 years of American involvement.
The victorious communists who forced the city's surrender said the capital of South Vietnam henceforth will be known as Ho Chi Minh City.
Tom Weiker's Army experience in Vietnam was from 1966 to 1969. His converted long neck garage is a constant reminder of his time in the war and that fateful day in 1975.
I was hurt. I was hurt because what we kind of protected and what we kind of were fighting for is now being pushed to these guys, the Vietnamese.
Like Weiker, Milford's Dave Kernock's time in the war had ended by 1975. He was stationed at Dover Air Force Base when Saigon fell.
I felt bad for the South Vietnamese, what they were going to go through because of the North Vietnamese, but it ended the killing.
The chaos of a hastily arranged evacuation in the 24 hours that preceded came to symbolize the entirety of the American experience.
You knew full well that the North Vietnamese were going to take over South Vietnam, because you had the Russians helping them, you had the Chinese helping them. So it was a waste of time.
For Georgetown's Harvey Walls, fresh off his 1971 graduation at Sussex Central, there was optimism when he left Delmarva for Southeast Asia.
I can remember calling home from Fort Monmouth and telling Dad, I had him on the phone, and I said, well, I just got my orders for Vietnam. He said, well, is there anything we can do to get you out of it? I said, I don't know why. I volunteered to go. He said, well, your mother's really going to like that.
When Weiker arrived in South Vietnam, it was a shocking greeting.
And I always remember getting off, because as we're getting off, we're walking by, and there's other troops going on, and they're yelling, hey, you're going to die, sucker. So they went on the plane, we went on our way. So I always get around, I couldn't even spell the word helicopter, and here all of a sudden I'm flying in these things. I wasn't a pilot, I was a gunner.
I ended up being a sniper.
I worked in a military intelligence communications center.
They had different roles in the war, but similar experiences when they returned home.
And I don't understand how they treated us when we got back. They told us on the plane, inside of the airport, there was a thrift store. Get out of your military uniform as fast as you can. They have shoes, they have shirts.
And then other people just didn't respect your, maybe I don't even know what I expected of other people to do. But I mean, even at the local VFW, which was up in Holmes, PA, I sat at the bar and some guy yelled over, hey, you guys are number baby killers. I just bought a round for everyone in the bar and I left. Myself and my buddy, we both left. But that's the welcome we got when we came back. Zero.
Change occurs over 50 years. The U.S. now has diplomatic and trade relations with Vietnam, and the Vietnam War veterans getting more attention and respect than they did then. On a day that changed history 50 years ago, the lives of Harvey Walls,
50 years goes by quick.
Tom Weiker,
Never went back there. I just had no interest.
and Dave Kernock.
To this day, I still have nightmares about things that happened.
Were forever changed after their time in the war. For Coast TV, I'm Matt Pensick.